Hello, it's Saturday, so that means it's time for another Lavinia Stamps video tutorial from me to you. And this is the card that I'd like to share with you today. It features the fabulous Pegasus from Sweet Poppy Stencils, an image designed for Sweet Poppy Stencils by Tracy Dutton of Lavinia Stamps. And then there are 4 Lavinia stamps. I have the word dream, I have a few stars, and then beautiful images to match Pegasus. And I hope to pronounce the names correctly. One of them is called Zanor, and the other one I think is Sirlus. Anyway, you'll forgive me if I'm not pronouncing those correctly, but you will find them obviously on the Lavinia Stamps website. Right, let's get going. I've got a magnetic sheet and the Sweet Poppy stencil and a piece of cardstock, Lavinia Stamps Multifarious cardstock in white, and it's 18.5 centimetres in width by 15 centimetres in length. So I'm going to pop that onto the magnetic sheet. Down goes the stencil, trying to find the configuration that I had it in before. I think it's round about there. Yep. If it wasn't, it is now. And I've a piece of tape just to not hold it down because this sheet is really strong. It's just to protect my cardstock from any stray ink as I apply it with the brushes. Now on the original card, the blend was quite brown, if I'm honest. It's quite a dark blend in the middle. And the colours that I used, and I am using again, are picked raspberry, peacock feathers, and squeezed lemonade. But I overblended on that first card, and when you overblend, you get mud. And I'm teetering on the mud. I liked it, don't get me wrong, I think it's nice. But I'm going to give these colours a bit more of their own identity on this one. And then you can choose whether or not you blend away or whether you follow me and get brighter colours that I'm hoping to get this time. So starting off with squeezed lemonade and a blending brush, a yellow one, so that I know what colour I'm using. And then in the middle, circular motion, I'm just giving it and coming down from the top of the body of the Pegasus, just giving it quite a bit of the squeezed lemonade. Peacock feathers is next. Now this is an overwhelming colour, so be careful, especially if the ink pad is very wet. So trying it first and then coming down, not doing a round circular motion with this one because I'm too close to the edge of the stencil, and some of the channels are quite thin here, and it might leak underneath if I carry on with that. So try to come down in the direction that the channels lead me to, and up from the bottom there, a little bit there and there. So a fair amount of blue, as you can see, but now I'm going to apply the pink, which is picked raspberry, and hopefully this will give me some orange and purple tones. This ink pad is quite dry, so this is why I'm not really bothering to test it. You can use a smoothie for this, or a blending tool, or your stencil brushes, whatever equipment that you apply ink through a stencil with and makes you feel comfortable. Now I don't want to lose that lemon. I want to keep this quite colourful, as it's a magical, mystical creature. I presume it's mystical and magical. I haven't seen many of them in All Hallows in the last couple of years, so I'd love to though. Now, okay, well, I suppose you could really if you'd had a couple. Anyway, let's not go there. Take this off. All done. Up comes the stencil into water. Now that's far more colourful than my original, and I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, Sweet Poppy stencil, stainless steel, sharp. Be careful. Wash that with using a nail brush to clean it. Just warm water and a little bit of washing up liquid. Be fine. And I'm getting rid of the magnetic sheet. I've got a couple of fingerprints. I must get rid of those before I do anything else. And I've got my Tombow Mono eraser. When have I never got this? I'm always by my side. Must have been a mark on the other side of the stencil. But anyway, I'm happy with that. Stamping mat is next, because that's where we're going next. These distress inks out of the way. I'm bringing in one more distress ink because I want to apply Lavinia Stamp's Pebbles stencil, and I'll do that next. So there it is, and I don't really want this to be too dark. I'm not going to go over the body of Pegasus, the large image. I'm just going around the outside. So with dried marigold, wrist very loose, just kissing the surface of the stencil, just kissing and skimming over the top of the card. Hold the stencil nice and tightly though. Pop this down towards the bottom. Have a look. Yes, now that will do me. It's less stencil on this one than there was again on the original card, and I'm liking that even more. They do say you improve with practice. It's certainly the case now. Right, let's go. What's next? Oh yes, these are the main images now, so that's the one I want first. VersaFine Onyx Black. Gentle tapping. I don't know if this is Zanor or Sirlus. It's one or the other. Right, just checking around the outside for any stray ink. There's a bit there. Just wipe that off from the block. And this one is going up in this corner here. And let's put that down a bit like that, I think. Like so. Right, I've committed now, so hopefully it's in the right position. It is a solid silhouette stamp. I've applied a lot of ink. It's a re-ink pad last night, and I'm just letting it soak into the cardstock and then down, press, up. Beautiful. Look at all the detail with the mane and the tail. Absolutely gorgeous. Right, now number, the other one of the two. I'm just trying to see if I can give you the right name for this one. I think this one is, oh, this looks like Sirlus. Beautiful images. And of course, with the Pegasus in the background, they all marry together so well. Again, it's another solid image. So just wiping off the Sirlus ink from around the block, and then just going to pop this one on now. And I think this one goes, just going to rest on the bottom. I'm hoping that I've got that in the right place. I'm having a job seeing through the block, to be honest. It's such a solid stamp. I'm having a job to see where the head of the image starts. All right, that should be it. Oh, that's lovely. More or less the same as the original one. So I think I've got the balance okay there. That's good. So just wipe your stamps off with a wet cloth and then dry them. I never use stamp cleaners on my stamps, especially not on the polymer ones. And now, dream, the word dream. Now this is where it can all go wrong, because I'm going to use an acrylic block rather than my stamp press. I'm either brave or foolish. I think foolish is probably the right word. But, and having my glasses on probably would help. So pop those on now as well. Oh, there it is. I wonder where the card was. Okay. Bit of Sirlus ink on the block, and then we're going down. And hopefully I've got this in the right place and straight. Up, that's not bad. And then the little stars. Now the little stars is a very delicate stamp, and I don't take the block, I don't take the stamp pad to the stamp on this one. I take the stars to, sorry, I'm trying to get some space here and think. Right, I'm taking my stars to the stamp pad, and I'm just very gentle, hardly touching the surface, because they're so delicate. They don't like too much ink squashed all over them. And then, so I've got enough on there, so I'm putting one there, and again gentle tapping, and then another one, I think, underneath dream there. That will do. Finished. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. Okay, so let's clear the decks. And I'll let you see these two now, and you can choose which one you prefer. So let me recap. The distress inks I used on both of the images that I'm going to show you, both of the cards, was Squeeze Lemonade, Peacock Feathers, and Picked Raspberry on both of these cards, exactly the same ink. And the way I applied it, and the pressure that I applied it with, and the amount of time I spent blending, either gave me this one, which I love, don't get me wrong, but I've got a sort of a more muddy Pegasus in the middle, more brown tones, which is nice, but I really do prefer this one. And this one has got more purples and lavenders and a bit of a green tone and a bit of pink, more in keeping with mystical creatures, I think. So you choose. I'm going to pop this one back down, pop this over the top, so this is framed, or rather the top. I just used a card blank for this one and gave it a couple of centimetres border all the way round, and just mounted it on some foam tape. So what do you think? I think that's not too bad at all, and I've thoroughly enjoyed showing you this one. Let's move down a bit. I'm going to say bye-bye for now, and I'll be back tomorrow with another Lavinia Stamps video tutorial from me to you. Bye for now. Enjoy your weekend.